All right, let's jump into another speedrun game of rapid chess. 10-minute, no increment. We are hoping to break 1,000 elo this game. We have gotten a few Najdorfs. This is main line so far. We'll see if our opponent plays knight c3, and will give us a chance to play our first Najdorf with the move a6. Point of a6, white has a lot of pieces that would like to go to the b5 square, and we take that square away with the pawn. So there's a bunch of moves that black can play here. That's one of them, that's one of them. There, there, there. a4 is also a move. There's also b4 is kind of a funny move, but that's also a move in this position. So our opponent goes with bishop d3, and I like to lash out in the center, make this knight decide where it wants to go. These two squares are definitely the most common, but that's also a possibility, and that's not very good, but also possible. Okay, that's the second most common move behind knight b3. We bring our bishops out. Our bishops in Najdorf positions usually belong on e6 and e7. So we'll get our bishops out there. And I think we will castle as well. So in these positions, the d5 square is really important. We have a couple pieces looking at it. It has good control over d5 because of this pawn on e4. Ultimately, we would like to make this pawn break with d5. Right now it's not possible because he has takes, and then he could also chop off the knight, so I only have that one defender. Also not possible because this e5 pawn will hang, so I think knight bd2 is the main move here, and then b5 is also possible, but let's play knight bd2. Point here, we want to get our rook on the open file. We also wouldn't mind jumping our knight into c5 to put pressure on the e4 square. Okay, that plan is no longer possible with that pawn. We could consider this push for d5 though. If he takes, I'm able to take back. And then I'm also threatening to win the pawn on b4, so that looks good. One line I do want to look at is d5, and then if he takes my knight, I guess I can take back with this knight, but then this pawn would fall to his knight. So let's say d5, bishop takes f6, I play bishop takes, he could then take. If I take, he can sacrifice his bishop there. The point is that the queen would then pick up my bishop. I think I'll be up a pawn at the end of all of that though. So let's go for it. That's the type of position, if I were playing a classical game, I would probably spend 15 or so minutes calculating, maybe even 20. Because it's a complicated position, and that's what happens in a lot of these Sicilian positions. That does seem like what we're going into, so I do want to double check my calculation here. So if I play bishop takes, then he takes, I take, he takes, I take, he takes. That might be good for him. If I play knight takes, then he can play knight takes. Play bishop takes, takes. What if I ignore and play there? That doesn't work, because then he takes. Sorry, takes. Okay. This is a tough decision. Knight takes or bishop takes here. Let's play bishop takes. So because of that tactic, I actually think it might be better to play bishop out here in this position. Let's go for it. That way we threaten to ruin his pawn structure, which I think is good. We are still fairly low rated, so I do wonder if our opponent would have found that tactic. We just definitely don't want to play hope chess, where we just hope that our opponent doesn't find the best move. You have to play assuming they're going to play the best move, and if they don't, then great. And this knight's kind of awkwardly placed. I mean, it might have to go back to one of these squares, which looks pretty passive. This knight will then be pinned. I might play rook e1. That would threaten to push my pawn forward, continue to kick the bishop around. So lots of ideas in the position. We'll see what our opponent comes up with. Interesting. I guess that makes sense though, so we can recapture with the bishop. That pawn would also hang if he pushed it. Let's get the rook to the open file. Okay, he does the same. Looking at a knight hop into the position. Doesn't seem to accomplish too much. Could go takes there. Make the rook move. Let's do this. We are going to put our queen here. We're going to set a small trap. If it were my turn to move, I could chop off the knight. He takes back with the bishop, and then move here. He would have to move his rook, and I'd be able to pick up the pawn. Our opponent pushes, which prevents that plan. Let's go here, protect that pawn. And our opponent is playing very well. Play bishop there. I'm wondering about this move, queen there. Let's just go for it. sacrifices. Oh my gosh. If I take, he wins the rook. So I can't take. Man, is our opponent playing way better than 998. Was a good find. I guess take, check, back, take. I could have ruined the pawn structure. Definitely not good for me though. He almost certainly goes back to d3 here. That has to be the best move for him. In which case I'll drop back to c6 quickly. Okay, let's go here. Protect the rook, attack, or put pressure on c2. Also threatening take, 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 take. So I can win a, oh, actually, what can I win? Take, this looks good. Takes, takes, takes. A sneaky move would be just playing queen h3 in this position. That only doesn't work because I have rook h4. And so for that reason, I don't think I can take the pawn here. Because if he gets his queen in, I might be in trouble. So let's play here. He'll drop back. I'll probably pick up this pawn. He might take that pawn. That's another good move. I'm gonna focus, try and play fast here. We are both getting somewhat low on the clock. Our opponent has a nice time advantage over us. I want to bait him into taking this pawn. If he takes it with the bishop, I might have a tactic. Oh, never mind, I do not. Before my queen was on the dark square, I thought I could push and threaten check there. Nope, I'm just getting thoroughly outplayed. Okay, this is a nice move. I sacrificed my queen, but I win his queen with check and then would pick up the bishop. So that's not the move he wants to play. He actually might have blundered. He goes for it. Now I'm going to be winning a piece though. And I might have life in the position. Obviously these pawns are super dangerous. I'm behind on time as well, which is not good. I'm gonna stop the pawns there though. All right, he's low on time. I do finally have a winning advantage here. That's all right. Trade off the rook. All right, we win win by timeout, but we were going to be able to promote a new queen. That was a really close game and a very long one. Let's take a quick minute to go through the analysis of that game. So this is all mainline theory. He goes back. I'm curious where we went wrong here. So already it doesn't love that move. It actually likes bishop e7, queen c7, and h6. Okay, that's good to keep in mind, but none of this is horrible. It already says I'm slightly better. This is all fine. And then in this position, it does like knight takes. So let me show you all the line I was looking at. So the reason I didn't play bishop takes d5, which is the second best move behind bishop g4, which is what I did end up playing, is because then they can play that move and pick my bishop back up and they win a pawn. So the way I played it, they do win a pawn, but I have pressure here. So I'm slightly worse, but not too bad. a5 is unfindable in my opinion. I mean, what's the point of that move? So bishop takes is another good move. I end up playing rook there, which is not so good. He plays rook over, and now what's the sequence here? b5. I play queen, which doesn't work because of, okay. Yeah, this is all, okay. So it looks like this is my big mistake, is playing my rook up to c4, which I played too quick. Let's see how white can punish that. If he goes queen d3, okay, threatens that and threatens my rook. So that's good to find. I actually don't think our opponent found that. Okay, he did kind of find it. He found the right idea, which is to play in the reverse order. If I were to take here, then he has that fork. This is a super impressive find by my opponent. Not common for someone under 1,000 to find a move like that. I slide over, and at this point I'm already in a bit of trouble, and then knight d2 would have been really tough here. What's the threat there? Oh, not knight, sorry, knight d2 like that. Yeah, attacking my, which is what he played. So here I'm down. It's a plus 3.4 advantage. I end up playing this correct though. I take that, he takes, and then yeah, this was a clutch find. So a lot of people in this position would be tempted to take the pawn. Problem is, if I take this pawn, I think he can just get his, so first he can take back, and then he gets his queen. What does he do? Oh, that I can't take back. So first he takes back. I can't take back because of that. Oh, yeah, it literally just wants me to give up queen. So that would have been hopeless. So finding this move, rook h4, was critical. And then he brings that back. I save my queen. Knight out was a good find. Rook back is right. This is all fine. I guess it liked the queen on c7 rather than on e7. Lose the pawn, lose the other pawn, but that was actually a mistake. And I did talk in the game about baiting him to take that pawn. It looks like e4 is a strong move here. I don't play it, unfortunately. And then here, this was probably my best move of the game. So bringing the bishop back here was a mistake, and that's because of this move that I found, knight f4. And despite being down 3 pawns and him having 3 connected passed pawns, which is very bad, I actually take the lead in this situation because he has no way to defend his bishop. Like, I'm gonna win his bishop. He ends up taking my queen, but then I take his queen with check, pick the bishop back up, and now it's about even, but I'm actually slightly better. Okay, let's see how I play this. Still pretty close to even. chop the knight off, bring my rook up was correct, bring my other rook over. Still probably a draw with best play. This bishop's able to cut off his pawns and then slowly get over. Okay, in this position, it thinks, yeah, rook c7 is a pretty strong move, and our opponent didn't find that. I pushed this pawn forward and kind of had the sneaky trick of I actually don't take this pawn. I take that pawn with check, and then I'm able to come over and win this pawn. And then, yeah, here, it actually likes white's chances if they make that trade, because then rook and bishop aren't going to be able to stop these 3 pawns. He misses it though, a little bit unfortunate. We got into time trouble, and then from here, I'm just able to convert. And here, our opponent ran out of time, but I just brought my rook over, cuts the king off. This pawn would be able to promote unimpeded, and then just, I could have pre-moved there, lather made it. So I could have pre-moved mate in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, mate in 9 is what it shows on the board. All right, well, that's the game. It was a long one. Some good analysis there. Thank you for joining.